In Formula One, rumors are as much a part of the sport as carbon fiber and tire smoke. They circulate quietly at first, passed between engineers, whispered in hospitality units, hinted at by journalists who can't say much yet. Most of those rumors never amount to anything. They flare up, grab attention, and disappear without a trace. But once in a while, a rumor refuses to die. It grows louder, it gains credibility, and eventually, it forces everyone to pay attention. Right now, that rumor has one explosive question at its center. Could Max Verstappen really leave Red Bull for Aston Martin? At face value, it sounds absurd. Verstappen is Red Bull. He is the centerpiece of their dominance, the driver everything revolves around. He wins championships, he breaks records, he defines the era. And yet, the deeper you look, the more complicated the picture becomes. Because Formula One is never just about who's winning today, it's about who's best positioned for tomorrow. This story begins, as many modern F1 power plays do, with Lawrence Stroll. Stroll isn't a passive owner. He's not content with midfield success or occasional podiums. Since taking control of the team, he has methodically transformed Aston Martin from a struggling outfit into one of the most ambitious projects on the grid. New headquarters, cutting-edge wind tunnel, aggressive recruitment, and perhaps most importantly, a willingness to challenge the established order. According to multiple reports, Stroll has made Max Verstappen his ultimate target. Not as a marketing move, not as a dream, but as a calculated step toward building a championship-winning dynasty. The thinking is simple. If you want to beat the best, you hire the best. The rumored timing is critical. Fernando Alonso, Aston Martin's current star, will be well into his 40s by the end of the 2026 season. While Alonso continues to defy age and logic, retirement is always looming. If Alonso steps away, Aston Martin wants to be ready, and Verstappen would be the crown jewel replacement. This isn't the first time Stroll has tested the waters. In the past, Aston Martin reportedly presented Verstappen with an enormous contract offer. He declined. At the time, it was the rational decision. Leaving Red Bull ahead of the biggest regulation reset in Formula One history would have been a massive leap into the unknown. But now, that unknown is unavoidable for everyone. The 2026 regulations represent a complete reboot of Formula One. New power units, new aerodynamic rules, new performance ceilings. The dominance of today means nothing tomorrow. Every team is essentially starting over, and that changes the risk calculation entirely. Still, several roadblocks stand in the way. The most obvious one is Fernando Alonso himself. Despite his age, Alonso remains one of the sharpest competitors on the grid. His racecraft is elite. His motivation is intact. If Aston Martin delivers a car capable of winning races in 2026, Alonso will not walk away quietly. And if he stays, Aston Martin suddenly has a problem because there are only 2 seats. That leads directly to the most sensitive issue of all: Lance Stroll. Lance has been a constant presence since his father took over the team. He's reliable, experienced, and capable of solid results. But Formula One isn't about being solid at the top level. It's about extracting everything from the car, every lap, every weekend. And Lance has never demonstrated the consistency or outright pace associated with world champions. If Lawrence Stroll truly prioritizes championships over everything else, he may eventually face the most difficult decision imaginable: removing his own son to make room for a generational talent. Formula One history is ruthless, and sentiment has never won titles. Then there's the biggest variable in this entire equation: Max Verstappen himself. Why leave Red Bull? At Red Bull, Verstappen enjoys absolute authority. The car philosophy suits him perfectly. The strategy team trusts him implicitly. The entire organization is aligned around maximizing his success. He is not just the lead driver, he is the cornerstone. Walking away from that level of control would be an enormous gamble, but Verstappen is no longer chasing validation. He already has championships, records, a place among the greats. What he may be chasing now is something harder to quantify: legacy. Winning with Red Bull made him dominant. Winning somewhere else could make him legendary. And the timing couldn't be more intriguing. Aston Martin has secured Honda as its exclusive engine partner for 2026, reuniting Verstappen with a manufacturer he knows and trusts. They've also brought in Adrian Newey, the most successful designer in Formula One history. That combination alone sends shockwaves through the paddock. It signals intent. It signals belief. In many ways, Aston Martin is building the perfect environment for a driver like Verstappen. Technical excellence, long-term commitment, and a clean slate under new rules. The financial side is obvious. Lawrence Stroll could offer a contract that redefines driver salaries. But Verstappen's motivation has never been purely financial. He wants influence. He wants clarity. He wants to know that the project is built around winning. The Newey factor is enormous. Verstappen's success at Red Bull is inseparable from Newey's genius. The chance to continue that partnership, this time as the foundation of an entirely new era, could be incredibly tempting. At the same time, Red Bull won't let him go easily. They will fight to keep him, restructure if necessary, and offer him whatever security he demands. Stability is powerful, familiarity matters, and Red Bull still represents the safest path to immediate success. Yet, recent comments from Sergio Perez have hinted at internal tensions within the team. Whether exaggerated or not, they raise questions. No dynasty lasts forever. The most dominant teams often fall apart quietly before the collapse becomes visible. There's also the human side of this story. Verstappen has lived under intense pressure since his teenage years. Expectations, criticism, endless scrutiny. A new environment could offer not just a sporting challenge, but personal renewal, a chance to redefine himself outside the Red Bull identity. A move to Aston Martin would also allow him to fully step into his own independence, separate from the shadow of his father, Jos Verstappen, whose influence has been both guiding and controversial throughout Max's career. For fans, the idea is electric. Verstappen in green, battling Red Bull, fighting for wins under a different banner. It would instantly reshape the competitive landscape and ignite one of the most dramatic chapters Formula One has ever seen. Of course, it could all be strategic noise, a negotiation tactic designed to strengthen Verstappen's position at Red Bull. That wouldn't be unprecedented, but the context feels different this time. The regulation reset, the Aston Martin rebuild, the unanswered questions elsewhere on the grid. This rumor refuses to fade because it makes sense in ways others never did. So, is it risky? Absolutely. Is it uncertain? Without question. Is it impossible? Not anymore. If Max Verstappen ever decides to leave the comfort of dominance in pursuit of something greater, Aston Martin may be the boldest and most fascinating choice he could make. And if that happens, Formula One will never look the same again. What do you think? Does Verstappen stay where he rules, or does he gamble on building a new empire? Let us know in the comments below.